So far, I can't tell yet who the beginning of this school year has been harder on. Me, my school-age daughter, or my little kids. Let's talk about it. Hi everyone, welcome to our homeschool table. My name is Jerilyn. I am a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, age 10, 3, and 1. My oldest daughter is in 5th grade this year, and we have just started our school year. So we are going to talk about how the first couple of weeks of school have been going and how all of the materials that we are using are going so far. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. It's free. And hit the like button if you enjoy homeschool updates and talking about curriculum and planning and organizing homeschool things. That's what we talk about here. And hit the notification bell so you know when I post a new video. Okay, so like I said, my oldest daughter, who is 10, she just started 5th grade. This is our 6th year homeschooling. We started when she was in kindergarten. And we just have a couple of subjects that we've started so far. If you saw my recent video about how we slow start our school year, you might know that we don't just jump right in with all the subjects on the first day. We ease in. I will link that video up here. The first couple of weeks of August, we were doing just our Sunlight History Bible Literature program. We are doing level E this year, which is American history, and that was going pretty well. We were mostly just doing the Bible portion in the morning around breakfast time or just after breakfast. And then we would do the history and geography and read aloud kind of after that. Well, now that we started our main subjects or the kind of core subjects, it's been a little bit of an adjustment, we'll just say. The first week of school that we had, which we started August 19th, and all we were adding was language arts to what we were already doing. And it was kind of an overcast week, and so it wasn't really hard to be inside doing school because it was kind of outside and not very warm, so it wasn't very hard. Plus, we'd only added language arts, which wasn't that big of a deal because it was just a couple of things. Took maybe 30 to 45 minutes, and then we were done. Well, then this last week, we added math along with that, and that is taking a little bit more time, which is fine. We've been doing fine with the math lessons. It's just that it adds more to the schedule. Well, it also got nice this week, finally. We've had kind of a weird August. It hasn't been very warm here. And normally August is really hot with lots of warm days, lots of sun. So the beginning of the month, we didn't really get to be outside in the water every single day or anything like that. So now that it has been nice again, it's been kind of hard to have to be inside for part of the morning doing school. So the little kids especially have noticed this, and my son is not really enjoying the fact that my 10-year-old daughter is having to do school and be busy instead of playing with him all morning. So, hence the adjustment. So the school that we have started has been going pretty well, and I will just show you a little bit about what we are doing so far. So far, we have started language arts the first week, and then this last week we added math. So for language arts, we are using the lesson book level 4 from Sherry Hayes at momdelights.com. I just picked this up on Amazon. It's around $8, and this is going really well. And my daughter is doing copy work, dictation, and narration in this book, and it just takes her maybe 5 to 10 minutes each day, and this is one of the first things that she does during her independent work time. So that's going really well. The next thing in her schedule is to work on a typing lesson from The Good and the Beautiful, typing 1. And so far, she's really liking this. I taught her how to open a document so that she can type her lessons. And she has been really liking this. We did the first lesson together. And then this last week, she did a lesson on her own and really liked that. Next on her list is Fix It Grammar. And so we've done this now for 2 weeks. I did do this a little bit differently than I had originally started last year. I started out by me going through the whole teaching page with her, the Learn It page, and then we would do lesson one kind of together. I would let her do all of the markings that she already knew how to do from the previous year. And then I would help her with anything that was brand new information. And that seemed to go really well. And then on the second, third, and fourth day, she would go ahead and just do this independently on her own. And she seemed to do pretty well with that. So we're going to keep going like that as we continue along. So Fix It Grammar is going pretty well. The next subject that she works on is Reading 5 from Christian Light Education. This is the first light unit, and it has 16 lessons. So this will take her 4 weeks to complete. We do 4 lessons a week. So basically, she reads the story in the reader and then works on 3 to 4 pages in the light unit. And then she is finished for the day. The next day, it's the same story from the first day, but you don't necessarily have to read it again, but you can do oral reading if you would like to. We just don't do it that way. She especially likes stories that go along with this program. There's lots of great vocabulary and things like characters and setting and plot and just the basic stuff that you would have in a reading curriculum. There have been a few things that she needs a little bit of help with, so we've been working on that together a little bit here and there, but this is mostly independent. Overall, she really does like this program, so we are happy with this. So this last week, our second week of official school, she has been doing the language arts like we were doing the first week, and then we added on all of the math things that she's going to be doing. So each day she's doing what I'm calling a math warm-up, where she just does some flashcards. These are the flashcards from Memoria Press. And so she just has a little bundle here, and I organized them where each of the bundles have a little thumb on the front, and so she takes that off and then does her flashcards. If she gets stuck on one, the answer's on the back, and so I have her read through the full equation. So like 0 times 7 equals 0, and so that it can just kind of get in her memory. So this has facts from 0 to 12, and I've just organized them into little bundles where she's working on different math facts each day. So that's going really well. She told me that she really enjoys the flashcards, which is good. So next, as part of her math warm-up, she works on one page in either her Kumon multiplication book or the division book. And we alternate. So Monday and Wednesday, she's going to do multiplication, Tuesday and Thursday, division. And she just works on a couple of problems. There's usually 15 to 20 problems before she gets into her actual math lesson. And the reason why I wanted her to do the multiplication and division books is because we use Math-U-See, and here's her test booklet, just so you know what it looks like. There is not as much review as a spiral program would have. Math-U-See is a mastery-based program, and so there is some review each week, but not as much as I prefer for multiplication and division especially. So I have her do the multiplication and division books so that she can kind of keep up on knowing how to multiply really well, keeping up on her math facts so that this section of math that we're doing this year in Math-U-See is easier for her. So for math, her actual math curriculum, we are using Math-U-See Epsilon. So this is just the test booklet that she keeps in her basket here that I have. So I can show you this, but she just works on one page a day. So basically how we do it is that on the first day of the new lesson, I watch the video with her. I go through several of the problems on the A page together. so that I kind of add a little bit more extra practice, because in the videos, Mr. Demi usually only shows maybe 1 to 2 examples. The way Matthew C works is that technically the videos are for the parent, not for the student, but we watch them together so that she can see him doing the work. And I really want her to see the way he does it, because I didn't necessarily learn the same way that she's going to be. So it helps both of us kind of be on the same page. But anyway, so we watch the video together. We do the first page, the first couple of problems together, and then she kind of finishes the page on her own, and I help as needed. Then the rest of the week, she's working on the pages independently, and that has gone pretty well. We've only done lesson 1 so far, so far she said she likes it, and using the manipulatives has been really helpful for her. She is getting a little bit concerned with when she has to do problems where there's not enough manipulatives, that she has to kind of do it in her head, and that's a little bit more challenging, but she's done a really good job so far. So I'm really happy that math is going well so far here at the beginning of the year, because typically in Matthew C, once we get later into the school year, it gets pretty challenging and it doesn't seem to go as easy anymore. So we're just going to stick with this positive beginning of the year. So far the actual curriculum has gone just fine, and we are really liking everything that we're using this year so far. One little update though to curriculum specifically is that I had completely forgotten that back in July, my husband and I had talked about our science curriculum that we're going to be using. And he and I were discussing the fact that the curriculum that I was going to be using was not a Christian curriculum. It wasn't from a biblical worldview. And he really preferred that, especially for science, that we use something that was from a biblical, gosh, I can't say that word. He really preferred that we used something that was from a biblical worldview. And for some reason, I had completely forgotten about that conversation and had never ordered anything different or even talked to my daughter about different options that we might consider for this school year. So all of a sudden, this last Wednesday, I was like, oh, I had completely forgotten that we had talked about getting something else. And so I had done a little bit of research already about what I thought we might do. There were 3 programs that I was considering switching to back in July, like I said, and had completely forgotten about. I don't know why. So that afternoon on Wednesday, I sent my husband the link to the program that I wanted to get. I had talked over a couple different programs with my daughter. I'd shown her some examples of the 3 that I was kind of considering, and she chose the one that she really wanted and that was kind of my preference already, which I'm not sharing yet, because when it comes, hopefully in the next week or so, I'm going to do an unboxing and then I'll show you what we're using. So stay tuned for that. But I went ahead and ordered it, and it's supposed to be here in 5 to 12 business days. So be looking out for a video of what science we are going to be switching to. But the reason I'm telling you about this is because this coming week, which is the week of Labor Day, or the week that I'm posting this, we were supposed to start science and health. So instead, we are switching. And this week, we are going to be adding enrichment subjects. So we are going to add nature study, picture study or artist study, composer study or music study, poetry, our hymn study, and a character study that we're doing through character concepts. So those are the things that we're going to be adding this current week, and I will let you know in a couple of weeks in September, at the end of September, how all of that went. I kind of plan to do monthly updates for the school year. I feel like any more than that might be a little too much, but I just wanted to let you know that we are changing science curriculum very last minute. It isn't here yet, so we can't start it. So that's what we're doing. So I have a subscription to a website called notebookingpages.com. And so I printed out these papers to go along with our enrichment studies. A few of them, they already have a printed page for, like this one is Beethoven. But I am going to have my daughter write out some of the things that she thinks are interesting about that composer or artist or poet. And then we put these all together into a kind of a notebooking journal, I guess you might call it. This is the notebook that I put all of the enrichment papers in about the artists and poets and things like that. In her notebook, she just fills out the pages and draws a picture if she wants to. Here. So this will just be a fun book to add to over the years, and then she can look back and remember different things that she learned about artists and composers and poets. So I have one for Beethoven. I have a blank one for Tintoretto because they don't have one specifically for him on the website. And then this is how I am adapting our character study. In the character study book, all of these scripture verses and questions are in there. I don't really want her to write in it though, because I have 2 other children coming behind her, and I would like to still use that same curriculum. So basically what I did was I just made my own document to look very similar to what is in the book, and she'll just fill this out. She's going to be doing this on her own, where she does the Bible reading and answers the questions, and then we will come together and talk about it, and I will read the reader that goes along with the character study program. So I'm really excited about that. We are starting that this week. We are going to be using the Ambleside Online Poetry Anthology, Volume 5, and this current term we're going to be doing Rudyard Kipling. And then she's also going to be starting the Christian Liberty Press Nature Reader, Book 4. She will be reading this twice a week and then answering the discussion questions with me. This coming week, we are also going to be starting this book, which is A Girl's Guide to Making Really Good Choices by Elizabeth George. This has 10 chapters in it, and so I plan to break each chapter up over about 3 weeks so that it's not as much reading and writing to do or reading and discussion to do. But we will do this together on Fridays, so we're looking forward to that. So just as a bit of reflection on how the last 2 weeks have gone, I think they have gone pretty well. It's just always an adjustment to have, especially the little kids, go from having their big sister available to play at any time they want and all morning long to not having much time at all to play together or things like that. So I have my little homeschool schedule back here on the line, and I am going to be tweaking it a little bit. I do plan to have a little bit more organized for him to do so that he's not feeling left out and irritated by the fact that his sister is not available to play. So I will keep you updated on how that's going at the end of September. I really like the order of how I set up my daughter's weekly checklist still. I had done a video, I don't know, a month or so ago about how I schedule each subject so that she's not doing the same thing for a really long time. So she's not just reading for a really long time. She's not just writing for a really long time. We are kind of alternating. Currently, she does copy work, and then she reads her nature reader. Then she works on grammar and reading, and then she works on math. So it kind of breaks it up a little bit, and not too much reading or not too much writing all at one time. And I really like the way that this is flowing. It's just that we need to be a little bit more efficient in our time, and I need to do a better job of being ready for school before school starts so that I'm completely available during school time instead of still getting ready. And that is just my issue. I am not really a morning person, and so getting up early before the kids isn't super hard anymore because they sleep in later now. But because they sleep in later, it's hard to get started for school at a reasonable time. So, um, so this coming week, we're going to be testing out kind of a new schedule. I'm actually going to be sharing in the next week or so about our homeschool schedule and kind of how it's going and what we're doing, what's working, what's not. So I'll be talking all about that. So one of the things that I noticed this last week that was kind of a challenge was getting all of the grading done. And I have my basket back here where I keep all of the things that I need for the day, but they were all just kind of mixed in together. So what I decided to do was put this bucket inside of my basket. It actually fits right in the front, and I can just take this whole thing out with me. And this has all of the teacher manuals that I would need to grade. So when it's time for me to grade at the end of the day, it has my Matthew C. book. It has my Christian Light Reading 5 book. And it has my Fix It Grammar book so that I can easily collect all of the things that she needs to have graded, and that I can just go sit down and grade them, whether it's outside or in my recliner or here at the table. I can take this wherever I need to go. And so my plan is that I will have this just sitting on the table starting this next week, because I just put this together on Friday because I was struggling. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the table, and then she will just put her things in the bucket that need to be graded. And then once everything is complete and finished, then I will take the bucket and go grade it either during quiet time or before lunch or something like that. So that's my plan for now, and we will see how that goes. I will keep you posted either in my homeschool schedule video or in the September update. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and like this video if you enjoy curriculum and homeschool planning and organization and things like that. If there are any questions that you have, either about just homeschooling in general or any of the curriculum that we are using, please feel free to drop me a note down in the comment box. I would love to have a conversation about that. If there are any things that you want a flip through of or more information about that I haven't already done on my channel, let me know about that as well. So how is your homeschool year going? Have you started already? Are you about ready to start? Let me know down in the comments below about how your year is going so far. If you haven't started yet, then I wish you the best of the beginning of the school year. If you already have started, I just want to encourage you that if things are not as smooth as you would like, to just keep on trying and tweak things here and there until they feel right. That's what we are doing here at our homeschool table, and just don't forget to be flexible and to make adjustments as you need to. Thank you so much for watching today, and we'll see you next time.